Hello and welcome everybody. This is a Verbling English class and my name is Teacher Amy and this is a writing class. So if you'd like to practice your writing, this is the place to be. Today our topic is journalism and we're going to have a bit of fun because I always like my writing classes to be a little bit relaxed with the opportunity for practicing the grammar, vocab and things that you really want to practice. What we're going to do today is we're going to write a piece of journalism. So there's a couple of things that you can do. One of them is that you can make up a story, some kind of a story, pretend that something's happened and report it. Or if you're not so good with the whole imagination thing from scratch, you can check out some of the news websites that I'm going to share with you and find a story that interests you and either use that one and rewrite it or let it spark your imagination and write something related. So a couple of options. I just want to share a few pages with you that might help you if you're new to Verbling or if you're watching this somewhere like YouTube. Check out my teacher page if you want to find out more. And Facebook if you like Facebook. So those pages are there for you to see in the chat boxes. And we're going to say a quick hello to our students. So Anna, welcome back.
Thank you, Monsi, Amy.
It seems as if you're already ready. You've got your idea in hand. You're going to write about something you read recently. Don't tell us what it is. We'll look forward to the surprise, okay?
Okay.
And welcome, Julian.
Hello again.
Nice to see you again. I wonder if you're going to be writing about huntsman spiders. I kind of hope not, to be honest. But, you know, it's up to you. Yeah, spiders make my skin crawl, I must say. We were just talking about spiders in our other class. So anyway, let's hope we can move on from that now. And Julian, you can surprise us as well. So all your task is, guys, I'm just going to give you a blank file to write into. So just a second, I'm going to share the link with you. And you can just use your imagination. I'm going to give you a couple of news web pages that you might want to check out just for inspiration purposes. And then you can access the file and start writing. So without further ado, let me just share my screen. All you need to do is, I think both of you have been to these classes before, so it should be self-explanatory. Just type your name and start writing wherever you like. If you prefer, you can write somewhere else and copy and paste it later onto this document. If you are writing on here, please be aware that there are other students writing and try not to interfere with their writing. I'm going to give you guys about 20 to 25 minutes because we have a small class, should get plenty done. If you have any questions, just ask. I'll be right here. Good luck, and keep your eyes out for the chat box. I'm going to look up a few websites and share them with you.
It's sorry. It's about something that I choose. It's not.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter
the subject. Okay.
No, but see if you can write it in the style of journalism. Imagine you're writing for a newspaper or a magazine or something like that, Julian.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, so there's a couple of really big news stations from the UK and US, and I'll share a couple of little ones that I like too, with some slightly funnier stories. About 10 more minutes, guys. Hello, Maria. You're welcome to join. If you'd like to join in, we probably do have time for you to write something, so you can access the document here and just type your name and write. And I'll come to you after the other two. Our topic is journalism, so you can either access one of the links in the chat box to give you an idea, or you can just make something up and write some kind of a news article.
Okay.
Done. Teacher.
You're done?
Yes.
Oh, right. Well, let's read what you've got, Anna. Julian and Maria, don't feel rushed. You've got plenty more time. So, Anna, have you checked it?
Okay. Teacher, as one joke I read and then I kind of copy, but I changed the words. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Just one
Mm-hmm.
at the end because I didn't know that uh, gosh. Okay.
We ready?
Yes.
Okay, could you read it, please?
The tragic death of Hitchbot shocked the whole world. A very nice and friendly hitchhiking robot had a tragic death in Philadelphia. I forgot to capitalize. And shocked the whole world. The hitchhiking robot named Hitchbot was designed by Canadians. It had a camera on it, a thumb up, and a sign declared San Francisco or bust. A huge list of suspects has been investigated. All of our devices have been fearing to end up without CD, having the same end. My microwave, I invented this part. My microwave was crying a lot and my cell phone could not sleep because of its stress and nightmares. The list of suspects is huge because the innocent robot witnessed a bunch of conversations during each journey. So imagine how many secrets he had recorded. Some of them must be really dark, some of them really dirty. Who knows? Among the suspects is the CIA, because they believed the poor, innocent robot running out of battery when it
Hold on.
was tried.
You missed a line.
Ah, okay. Because they believed the poor, innocent robot was a spy. Unfortunately, they could not see who was the cold murderer, I guess. Sorry. Because each bot was running out of battery when it was tragically killed and decapitated. A lot of children and Twitter's followers around the world have been crying a river. Each bot was cute and harmless. It had its location tracked by a GPS, and its built-in camera took a photo every 20 minutes. A lot of people were posting selfies with Hitchbot. Its creators had hoped to hide the crime scene from its fans, but the pictures were posted online, shocking the whole world. The question nowadays that haunts the mankind is not who killed John F. Kennedy anymore. It is who killed Hitchbot. A footage where this was the joke that I kind of copied because I didn't know the sitcom
Mm-hmm.
before. A footage where some people were beating the poor robot was released online, and it explained the people who were beating the robot were the same who had made Will Smith to be sent to Bel Air.
Very interesting story, Anna. Where did you get this idea from?
It's a true story, teacher. They
So,
really designed a robot,
mm-hmm.
and it was a hitchhiking robot, and yes, teacher, it had crossed uh, from oh my gosh, from
Oh,
I I forgot the places where uh, it went through across Canada, Germany and Netherlands, and
wow.
people were taking pictures, selfies, and she had a lot of followers on Twitter, and then um, it was broken by someone,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and people making uh, comments, and
Yep.
this joke about Bel Air and the Fresh Prince. I didn't catch because I didn't know the sitcom, and then I Googled and I
Mm-hmm.
thought, oh, it's funny.
Okay. All right. So this was from a real story. Awesome. Well, let's go through it and just make some corrections. Although this is very well written. Well done. Okay. So a very nice and friendly. We probably just do nice, friendly hitchhiking robot. Had a tragic death in Philadelphia and shocked the whole world. Brilliant. The hitchhiking robot named Hitchbot, probably because it's the name we should put a capital, was designed by Canadians. We'd probably also say the Canadians. Just because you're talking about people from that country. It had a camera on it, a thumb up. Yeah, you could say a thumb up because I know what you mean. You could also say a thumbs up. A thumbs up is like the little signal that you do to say okay or to hitchhike. And a sign declaring. Or maybe a sign that declared You can't just say a sign declared. San Francisco or bust. A huge list of suspects has been investigating. A huge list of suspects has been investigating. So this sounds as if it's the suspects who are investigating, Anna, but I think you need to put it the other way around.
Okay, so
I would say,
investigated.
yeah, has been investigated. Or a list is probably not the right way to say this. I would say a huge number of suspects have been investigated or are being investigated. Depending on whether it's finished or not, but either of those is fine. All of our devices have been fearing to end up having the same end. Have been fearing. It's a funny way to say it. All of our devices have been worried about, I would say. Worried about ending up the same way. Have been worried about ending up the same way. You could say have been worried about coming to the same end. To come to an end or come to the same end could be okay. But we don't usually use fearing because it sounds a bit funny. You can fear something. So you could say all of our devices fear ending up the same way or fear coming to the same end. But you can't be fearing something. My microwave was crying and my cell phone could not sleep because of its stress and nightmares. I love it. The list of suspects is huge. Because you're talking about a list, we tend to say long, not huge. Because it's a long list, it's to do with its length, not how big it is. Because the innocent robot witnessed a bunch of conversations during its journey. So imagine how many secrets. Okay, so you need to decide if you're going to call the robot it or he, because you've got it here, and then you've got he. So let's stick with it.
He.
You want to go with he?
Yes, let's replace everything.
Okay. Some of them must be you've got a funny thing with your tenses here, Anna. So you've got witnessed a bunch of conversations. How many secrets he had recorded? I would say some of them must have been, or you could say must be. It depends on sort of the point of view that you're taking. We can leave it, I guess. Some of them
sorry, I don't know how to improve it.
Okay, so because we're talking about something in the past, it sounds a little bit funny to come back to the present. It is okay because you may be still saying that some of the stories are dark, but because you're talking about the recording of them in the past, it would probably be sounding better to say some of them must have been. Because you're talking about the whole thing in the past, and then if you come back to the present to say about the stories, it sounds a little bit strange. It's not wrong, because you might want to say that the stories still are dark.
Yes.
It's not wrong, it's just one of those very subtle things.
Okay.
Who knows? So, okay, either way is okay. Must be, must have been. Who knows? Among the suspects is the CIA, because they believed the poor innocent robot was a spy. Unfortunately, they could not see who was the cold murderer. They could not see who the cold murderer was.
The police, because I was talking about CIA and them.
Yeah.
It can be confused, I guess.
So you want to change they to the police?
I believe, or maybe the investigators.
Yes, something like that. Whoops. Could not see who the cold murderer was because Hitchbot was running out of battery when it was tragically killed and decapitated. A lot of children and Twitter followers around the world have been crying a river. Hitchbot was cute and harmless. He had his location tracked by GPS, and it's his built-in camera. Because built-in is an adjective, we need to hyphenate it. His built-in camera took a photo every 20 minutes. A lot of people were posting selfies with Hitchbot. His creators had hoped to hide the crime scene from his fans, but the pictures were posted online, comma, shocking the whole world.
Teacher, the horrible crime scene.
The horrible crime scene?
Mm-hmm.
The question nowadays that haunts mankind is not, comma, who killed John F. Kennedy anymore. It is, comma, who killed Hitchbot. When you start speech, you need to have a capital and you need to have a comma beforehand. A footage, or we can't say a footage, some footage, or just footage, where some people were beating the poor robot was released online, and it is claimed the people who were beating the robot. So, I think it is claimed sounds a little bit funny. We don't usually use that in the passive, so I would say, and there are claims. There are claims that the people who were beating the robot were the same who had made Will Smith to be sent to Bel Air, made Will Smith go to Bel Air. You can't really say made to be sent. It sounds funny. So who had made Will Smith go to Bel Air or had sent Will Smith to Bel Air?
I read about this sitcom, and her aunt sent him to Bel Air to live with his aunt, and
yes.
okay, because he was being eaten.
Yes, absolutely. Well done. So Anna, there's a couple. Because of the explanation, there's a couple of corrections to do with your verb tenses, and most of the other ones are just that we corrected it to his because we decided to call him he. Any questions?
No, I think that is a good text.
Thank you, Maria. I agree.
Thank you, Maria.
Well done, Anna. Great start. Thank you for starting us off. Julian, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Brilliant. Okay, could you read yours for us, please?
Okay, in nowadays it's very common to have near to hand many devices and apparatus to make easy your daily life. But you have wondered what will happen with you if tomorrow all of these helpful issues, what do you have disappear? Well, we show you the consequence of this catastrophic event. First, do you have to before a bathroom without toilet? In this case, maybe you could have in our houses a black hole connected to a pipe where you sit in the floor and enjoy the cold with the interesting magazine. Or we will get again public toilets for every building, and you could talk about the weather with somebody while you're sitting here. There, sorry, I found a mistake. But in this case, don't surprise you. But if this case don't surprise you, we could manage get the water for your house when your floor is located in the 20th floor. The solution is install a basket connected to the large line and leave out for every floors. So we live in full of facilities, and we are angry and worried about the other insignificant things.
Great. Well done. Very funny idea, Julian. Okay. So let's make some corrections. So nowadays, yeah, great start, but you don't need to say in, you can just say nowadays, okay? Nowadays, it is very common. We always need a subject. We can't just say is. Nowadays, it is very common. Have near to the hand many devices and apparatus to make easy your daily life. Okay, it's very common to have. We can't put near to the hand here. We've got to move it to the end of the sentence. So to have many devices and apparatus to make your daily life, or maybe that make your daily life easier. Then you can put here, whoops, near to hand. But we don't usually say near, we say close. Close to hand. That's just a phrase that comes as a team. So nowadays it is very common to have many devices and apparatus that make your daily life easier close to hand. But, and then because this is a question, we need to say have you, not you have. I know that it's a rhetorical question because you're not expecting an answer, but it's still a question, okay? So have you wondered what would happen, Julian? What would happen? Because this is a conditional. If tomorrow all of these helpful issues that you have disappear, what would happen? And we'd say to you, not with you. What would happen to you? If tomorrow all of these helpful issues is like something intangible, something that you can't hold, it's just like a topic. So I'd say we need to say something like things here, because really you've got to talk about things that you can hold, that you have disappeared, because we're using the conditional. So we need to say, if tomorrow all of these helpful things that you have disappeared, what would happen to you? So this is the second conditional. Well, we shall you the consequences. We shall tell you. We can't we shall you. We shall tell you the consequences of this catastrophic event. I think it would be catastrophic if the toilet suddenly disappeared. Okay, first. We don't need a capital because we've got first as our first word. Do you have thought before? Have you ever thought? Not do you have. Have you ever thought about or of? I would say about's probably here. Before, I know what you mean, because you're talking about have you ever thought about a bathroom without a toilet? Then you put before here, okay, at the end. So, have you ever thought about a bathroom without a toilet before? We don't need a comma, we need a question mark is the same as a full stop, so you always need to start the next sentence with a capital. In this case, maybe we would have in our houses a black hole. We need to put in our houses at the end, so we'll cut that. Would have a black hole connected to a pipe where you sit in our houses. Connect to a pipe where you sit. Where do you sit is a question. Where you sit is a statement. So where you sit on the floor, and you could say either to enjoy or and enjoy the cold. With an interesting, because interesting starts with a vowel, so you need an, not a. An interesting magazine in our houses. Or we would get, again, public toilets for every building, and you could talk about the weather with somebody. Or we would get public toilets again for every building, and you could talk about the weather with somebody while you... We wouldn't say stay. To stay is like where you sleep the night usually, or where you have to wait for some particular thing. Like your mum might say, stay here while I go shopping, or stay here while I just talk to this man or something. But generally we use it for staying the night. So let's see, while you were there. That sounds horrible. I hope that this never happens, Julian. Okay, but if this case doesn't, because it's singular, this case doesn't surprise you, we could imagine getting, after imagine you need ing, we could imagine getting the water for your house when your floor is located, because it doesn't need to be there because we already have your floor as the subject. Your floor is located on the 20th floor. You need to have 20th.
Okay.
The solution is to install a basket connected to a large line. A large, maybe cord or something is better here. Wire, something like that. A line is generally something that you draw with a pencil, like an image, rather than an actual tangible object. And lift up to every floor. Or maybe to lift up and down, but that's up to you. Every already has the idea that all of them are there, so you don't need the plural. You just say every floor, each floor. We don't need a full stop after that because an exclamation mark is the same as a question mark. It's like a full stop already. So, our life, the life that belongs to us, not we. We is the subject pronoun. So our life is full of facilities, and we are angry, and I'd say we get angry and worried about other insignificant things. Maybe we need an exclamation mark there as well, because it's like, you're implying that we shouldn't do that, right, Julian?
Yes.
Okay, very interesting. I wasn't expecting this one, but well done. Do you understand all of the corrections?
Yes, I understand. Oh,
Brilliant.
a lot.
Any questions?
No, I don't have anyone.
Excellent. Well, thank you. So far, two completely different stories. Maria, are you ready?
No, I don't write anything.
You didn't write anything?
No.
Okay, no worries. So we've got a few more minutes left of class. Well done for those two of you who have written something. Do you guys read the news or listen to the news a lot? Are you the type of person who watches the news or reads it every day?
Are you asking who?
Anybody? Anybody? You, if you like, Anna?
Yes, but not as often as I should, because sometimes I'm lazy. But I believe it's important to keep you up to date and to know what's going on around the world, and I should read every day.
Okay, so you feel like you should read the news or find out about the news regularly. What
Yes,
about
but
you?
I don't. Sorry.
But you don't. Not as much as you wish you could.
Hello.
Maria, do you watch the news?
Yes, I watch the news every day because I like to be updated all time. Because, for example, today one guy who killed two girls was in what is it? Look for and capture. What is the name?
Look for what,
In
sorry?
English? Wait.
He was being looked for by the police?
Search and seizure. No.
Search and
Search and seizure.
I'm not sure what the second word is.
Arrest warrant.
Oh, okay, so he's on the run, you mean?
Yes. What is the name? What is the expression of this? Arrest warrant.
An arrest warrant is basically something that you need in order to arrest somebody, a signed piece of paper. Yeah? So if somebody is running away from the police and the police are looking for him, you can say he's on the run.
Vale, okay. Bueno, and I think that this is very important because, for example, if you see a guy, you must call the police. For this, I think that you must watch the news every day to help other people.
Yeah, good point. What do you think, Julian?
Yes, I read a selected news every day because I don't know say that in English, but it's the newspapers and the new word the networks, the news networks shows agri news and war and no happy news uh, every day. I don't like so much. I know that exists. I know that exists the war. I don't exist the evil in the world, but it's not necessary to remember every day for me. I try to read other news about other things, about the animals, the robots, like science. Really, I like some of the science. I try to read this kind of news.
Okay, so yeah, I must admit that news can be a little bit depressing or a lot depressing, depending
Yes.
on what you watch. So, what kinds of news do your countries show? Is it mostly about your country, or is there a lot of world news? What do you think, guys?
No, the news of my country because here the channels and the companies the networks are focused in show the war the civil war that we have
Hmm.
and the corruption between in our politician and we are government institutions and so we the other focus it's try to show the people here in Colombia it's not smart it's only bad people.
Okay. So yeah, I think different countries show different things. What about Brazil, Anna?
We have news about everything, international news, um, a lot of things about sports,
Hmm.
and yes,
Is it just
and
football?
most of the time,
Sounds like England.
and and politicians, um, a lot of scandals, uh, uh, kickback schemes, and things like that. That are going on behind the doors between the politicians and
Yeah,
so forth.
absolutely. Hmm. Um, do you guys ever, when you know, consume the news, how do you do it? Do you watch TV or are you internet news users?
Uh, I watch TV and also I search stuff online,
So a
especially
bit
in
of both?
English.
Ah, great.
Yes, I try to read in English.
Hmm.
Yes.
I found out the story about the robot 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 because of it.
Hmm. Awesome. So Anna does a bit of both. How about you, Julian?
I don't watch TV, or I don't watch the channels of Colombia really.
Hmm.
I watch other channels and
Yeah.
movies, but in news I read by internet different newspaper like
Hmm.
New York Times and sometimes BBC, the official web page.
Hmm.
But and now I try to watch it's a new portal. You can find different tags about around the world in
Hmm.
different topics. It's science and wealth, it's sports. It's well, I forget it. Maybe in a few minutes I remember the name.
The name.
And but really I am looking for the news in the internet because I choose I can choose the news that I like to read. I like to
Yeah.
read.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got a lot more choice on the internet than the TV just shows you what they want you to see, I guess. Do
Yes.
either of you read newspapers?
No, no, it's just too much old-fashioned.
Too old-fashioned?
Yes,
How about like on a tablet or a phone? Do you read the news via those two
yes, teacher,
devices?
sure.
So
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's interesting how almost like those have replaced the newspaper. Although are newspapers still sold reasonably commonly in your countries because they are here?
Yes, yes, you can find it in every corner, you know.
Yeah, so they're
They
still
sell
popular.
magazines and newspapers. But I don't know why people buy newspapers. Because you can read everything online. You just have to type the name of the newspaper. So why to buy?
Good
I don't
question.
know.
Why buy? Why buy? Um,
Why
Julian,
buying?
yeah, what do you read a newspaper ever, Julian? And what do you think? Do you agree with Anna? Is it a waste of money?
Really? Yes, I think it's a waste of money. I don't read a newspaper, and because so I think the paper for printing the newspaper it's a waste for the world. I prefer reading in electronic devices like tablet or phones.
Yeah.
But the main reason it's the same that I don't watch the TV channels here in Colombia.
Yeah.
It's have the same focus in the newspapers.
Yeah, so the newspapers and TV are sort of similar topics, and you prefer reading other things of your choice.
Yes, it's better have the choice about that you could read.
Yeah, absolutely. I think news is one of those things that has really been affected by technology change. Like it's completely changed. And because not that long ago, I think most people only watched TV or read newspapers, and now hardly anybody does, and in such a short space of time. Um, Journalism is one of those things that is really good to practice your English, but you shouldn't let it be the only source of practice because it has a very distinctive style and it's quite formal. So I would recommend reading some news articles in English to practice, which is great. It gives you a certain level and style of vocabulary and register, but blogs are good
And
for the informal things.
none of us did it right.
Pardon?
And none of us wrote in a journalistic way.
You mean Anna and Julian?
Yes.
You too. No, I think you did well. I think it's very difficult to write in a journal in a journalistic style when it's your foreign language because it's hard to get the register. But mostly you have to focus around facts and I got kind of get straight to the point and do shorter sentences. So you did both of you really well. I think you should be proud of yourselves. It was not your magic. Okay. Well done, guys. Let's leave it there for now. I hope you have a brilliant weekend. Have a relax. Don't forget to study a little bit. Maybe come on Burbling for a bit of fun if you have some spare time over the weekend. If not, I hope to see you again next week.
Thank you,
Uh,
Abbas.
Bye.
Amy, I can ask you something
Yes?
before finish the class. Do you recommend read books for children when we are starting, or start with general literature, general writers in English?
Well, it depends on you, really, Julian. If you find that your vocabulary is quite minimal and you want to read stories, then children or perhaps like young adult sort of teenage fiction is a good way to go because it's not as complicated. It tends not to be as stylistic. If you go straight for adult fiction, or literature, you can come across lots of different styles and techniques which might be beyond you depending on your level. So it's up to you really how much you want to challenge yourself.
Okay,
May,
thank
may I say something?
Sure.
Sometimes you think that a book suitable for teenagers will be worthless, but it is not. The Diary of a Wimpy Kid has a lot of slangs and yes, teacher,
Yeah,
it's
no, I
very
agree.
useful. It looks like a very easy book in English, but it's not. You know, uh, I believe that it's very useful.
Great, there you go. Recommendation from Anna, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which is very popular with children, I guess, older children, like age 10 plus. But as Anna says, it has a lot of useful colloquial stuff that you can pick up from reading it. So don't overlook teenage or children's fiction. Agreed. And slang. Good point. All right. Well, maybe you can go to the library and get out Diary of a Wimpy Kid now and read it over the weekend.
Yes,
Whatever you
sure.
do, have a relax.
Okay,
See you guys again next week, hopefully.
thank you. Have a good weekend. Goodbye.
Bye. Hello and welcome everybody. This is a Verbling English class and my name is Teacher Amy and this is a writing class, so if you'd like to practice your writing, this is the place to be. Today our topic is journalism and we're going to have a bit of fun because I always like my writing classes to be a little bit relaxed, with the opportunity for practicing the grammar, vocab and things that you really want to practice. What we're going to do today is we're going to write a piece of journalism. So there's a couple of things that you can do. One of them is that you can make up a story, some kind of a story, pretend that something's happened and report it. Or if you're not so good with the whole imagination thing from scratch, you can check out some of the news websites that I'm going to share with you and find a story that interests you and either use that one and rewrite it or let it spark your imagination and write something related. So a couple of options. I just want to share a few pages with you that might help you if you're new to Verbling or if you're watching this somewhere like YouTube. Check out my teacher page if you want to find out more. And Facebook if you like Facebook. So those pages are there for you to see in the chat boxes. And we're going to say a quick hello to our students. So Anna, welcome back.
Thank you, bunch, Amy.
It seems as if you're already ready. You've got your idea in hand. You're going to write about something you read recently. Don't tell us what it is. We'll look forward to the surprise, okay?
Okay.
And welcome, Julian.
Hello again.
Nice to see you again. I wonder if you're going to be writing about huntsman spiders. I kind of hope not, to be honest. But, you know, it's up to you.
That.
Yeah, spiders make my skin crawl, I must say. Not a big fan.
Yes.
We were just talking about spiders in our other class. So anyway, let's hope we can move on from that now. And Julian, you can surprise us as well. So all your task is, guys, I'm just going to give you a blank file to write into. So just a second, I'm going to share the link with you. And you can just use your imagination. I'm going to give you a couple of news web pages that you might want to check out just for inspiration purposes. And then you can access the file and start writing. So without further ado, let me just share my screen. All you need to do is, I think both of you have been to these classes before, so it should be self-explanatory. Just type your name and start writing wherever you like. If you prefer, you can write somewhere else and copy and paste it later onto this document. If you are writing on here, please be aware that there are other students writing and try not to interfere with their writing. I'm going to give you guys about 20 to 25 minutes because we have a small class, should get plenty done. If you have any questions, just ask. I'll be right here. Good luck, and keep your eyes out for the chat box. I'm going to look up a few websites and share them with you.
It's sorry, it's about something that I choose. It's not.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
The subject. Okay.
No, but see if you can write it in the style of journalism. Imagine you're writing for a newspaper or a magazine or something like that, Julian.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, so there's a couple of really big news stations from the UK and US, and I'll share a couple of little ones that I like too, with some slightly funnier stories.